In a beginner agility class, we'll spend much of the time learning the equipment. To get them exposure, you'll be taking them over the equipment on leash. Throughout the time, we'll be treating them as much as possible. This will make the experience enjoyable for them and will help motivate them over some of the scarier parts. In the beginning, this equipment can be quite intimidating and scary, but we'll be there to help. Before you know it, your dog will be comfortable in moving over the equipment with ease. And that's going to be the goal for much of the equipment, to have your dog pass over it on leash as comfortably and smoothly as possible. For some of the more complex equipment like the teeter, we'll actually start that in very small incremental steps. As you'll see here, the teeter is lowered to a smaller height and not allowed to move too much. As your dog becomes more comfortable, we'll remove some of the support to allow for a little bit of movement. It may take some time, but eventually your dog will get to full height. In beginner agility, don't get discouraged. It takes some time for your dog to get used to the equipment. The goal in beginner agility is to get your dog used to the equipment that they will see. And we'll take it step by step and work at the pace of the dog. If there's time, we'll even begin to work on sequencing, where you'll go from one obstacle to the next. We don't require it, but if you can't get into a beginner agility class, we would highly recommend taking sports obedience. Because, as you can see, sometimes keeping their attention is the hardest part. In sports obedience, we'll work a lot more on keeping their attention and working off leash. We'll also work on their impulse control, getting them to stay before they're released. For more complex equipment like weave pulls, keep in mind, it can take months to get your dog to do it without weave pull guides, and years to master. Whether you plan on competing or not, just remember, it's all about having fun with your dog.